Greetings and salutations, YouTube. I'm your storytelling pal, Big Al, and I'm here to hopefully share some laughter with y'all. Before we get into the stories, a couple of disclaimers. These stories are kind of sort of true, as best as I can remember. If I have to fudge a fact here or two to make it a funnier story, I probably will. If I have to, to cover up someone's identity, use a different name, I probably am going to. This story will definitely feature that. And other than that, the other disclaimer, I'm just here to make people laugh. I mean, it's a little bit after 2 o'clock in the morning now. I'm sitting here talking to my phone. I've got my phone resting on a remote control on top of a book leaning up against Gatorade. This is really no frills. So if you think that my storytelling sucks or that I'm fat or that I'm ugly, whatever, I don't care. Go watch someone else. But for those of you who enjoy the stories, that makes my day that people can get laughter from, what's happened to me. So with all that out of the way, remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, all that good jazz, and let's roll into the story. So when I was in college at Murray State University in the first stint, I had this friend, James. And James is a dear friend of mine. We're still very close friends. But one thing about James that you're going to need to know for this story, he kind of is a very passionate guy. And he also kind of has a bit of a personality of a bulldozer at times. So he definitely has his way of doing things and getting what he wants and all that good stuff. And around the kind of backstory of this story, so James had gotten into golf. And when I say he got into golf, he fell for it hard. Like the very first time he went out and played, we were on the fourth hole, his golf cleat got caught in the ground and he broke his ankle. And even so, we finished 18 holes on the par 3 golf course we were playing at. And then we went and ate lunch. And then we went to the regular size golf course. And James played 15 or 16 holes of that before the pain got too bad. And he had to quit for the day. And then we took him to the emergency room whenever we finished the 18 holes. And, for the next probably 2 years, we were on the golf course 3 to 5 times a week. It was James, this guy Jaden, who actually was a practicing vampire, he literally drank each other's blood, and this Pentecostal minister named Mikey, and me. It was kind of a strange foursome. But anyway, I had forgotten that I had made plans to go play golf with them at our university's course later that afternoon. And this girl who, for the purposes of this story, I'll call Jessica, she had stopped by. We were kind of in the process of having kind of, I guess what could best be described as a series of one-night stands. And so I lit some candles, put on some soft romantic music. For those of you who are wondering, it was the slow version of Don't Fear the Reaper from the Scream soundtrack. And Jess and I were kind of rounding second base and starting to kind of hit that home run trot, for those of you who know American slang for sexuality. And so I hear this knock at my door, and it sounds like a cop. And I kind of get a little bit worried, and then I hear this voice go, "Al, I know you're in there. Your car is here. Open up, man." And I'm like, oh, that's James. And so now keep in mind at this point, hands need to be washed, pants are unbuttoned and unzipped. It's kind of a moment. And so I go to the door, and James just rushes past me And he walks all the way through my studio apartment and goes to the back corner, like not 5 feet away from Jess, and picks up my golf clubs and goes, "Hey, dude, you said you were going to come play golf with us. It's time to go." And I'm just like, "James, dude." And I kind of glance at Jess. And James finally, for the first time, realizes that Jess is there. And he goes, "Oh." And he goes, "Well, we're supposed to play golf." And he looks over at Jessica and he's like, "Hey, this guy had plans to play golf with me. Do you mind if I take him to play golf?" And Jessica kind of sighs real heavy and she's like, "Whatever you need to do." So I'm just like, oh God. So next thing I know, I'm in the car with Mikey and Jaden and James, and we're on our way to the golf course. And so one of the holes that we were playing, my putt kind of hit the lip of the cup and went around like most of the cup, but didn't fall in. And when it stopped kind of a few inches away from the cup, Mikey goes, "Well, Al, if you had not been fornicating today, that ball would have gone in." And then later on, when I took a restroom break and I won the hole previous, so I had honors to tee off, Jaden goes, "If you want me to, I'll tee a ball up for you while you're in the bathroom." And I said, "Fine." And so I come out, and sitting on the tee for me is this bright blue golf ball that Jaden had stolen from a mini golf course. Nice, Jaden. Thank you. And so that is the story of how I got not cock-blocked, but golf-blocked. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Hope you have a good one. I'm out.